Hi guys, I am back with another quick video, and this video is going to be a follow-up for a video that I did before about how I lost weight. I wanted to ensure that I give you step-by-step things that I did that are going to be helpful to you. So this is going to be a quick one. It's not going to be a story time to give you a background. I already gave a background as to how I prepared myself before I did the actual things that I'm going to talk about today. So what I will do in this video is go right away into the steps. So the best thing, and one thing that I want to say, by the way, I ate everything that I always eat, but I ate it in portions. So well, this is me already jumping into the video. I wanted to let you know that you can lose weight without having to stop eating whatsoever that you love eating. You just need to come up with a strategy. So I'm going to tell you my strategies. All right, I kept eating everything that I ate, but then I either ate it over so let's say I ate it once in 2 weeks or once in a month. And then also I made sure I was eating small portions. I'm a snacking girl. I love sweet stuff, right? I made sure I still ate those. Otherwise, I feel like I'm suffering. I don't know if there is a gang outside there like me that loves sweet, sugary stuff. So I did not want those out of my diet altogether, but I had to incorporate them in a way that they were going to be helpful to you. So without further ado, I'm just going to give you the 7 steps. They're actually 7. This is going to be a quick one, and I have already alluded to the first. And the first is eat whatever you want, eat all that you want, but make sure you're portioning it. For example, if you're buying snacks, if you're buying cookies, make sure that you have small bags where you're portioning those cookies. I would recommend eating just one piece out of whatever you've bought. Let's say after your lunch or after your dinner as a dessert. That wouldn't harm anything, and make sure that it is within the calories. So that's me already touching on a point that I'll come to later. So make sure it's within the calories. For example, if one cookie is 120 calories, make sure that you leave room for that dessert in whatever you are eating, right? So portioning. So that part is about portioning. Make sure you're portioning. And anyways, ladies, can you see I literally lost? Right now I'm at my ideal weight. Well, if I can lose any more, if I can lose some more, I do not care, because I have given myself a range within which I will always fall, and I'm already within that range. I'm actually at the upper part of the range, but I can go to the lower end or just be catapulting and oscillating within this range. But I am fine. I can eat whatever I want at this point. But again, I will not go overboard. So that's the first point. The second point will be fasting. You have to fast. The reason as why you have to fast is to give your body time to digest whatever you have, and also go into the reservoir of fat that you have in your body, to break that down to use as energy. So make sure you're fasting. Personally, I incorporated intermittent fasting for 16 hours out of the 24 hours in a day. So how I did that, for example, and the method that I found to be really easy for me, was to stop eating by 4 p.m. So I had my dinner by 4 p.m. and then that would give me up to 8 a.m. the following morning. But then I went further. So in my mind, I was doing 16 hours, but sincerely, I was actually doing 20 hours. I only ate at 12. So I skipped breakfast. I was not eating breakfast. So my first food or my first meal of the day would be at 12 p.m. So that gave me longer hours. But still, even if I ate from 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. actually to have some breakfast, let's say a smoothie, a healthy smoothie, that would still harm nothing. So if you're making sure that you are eating at by 4 p.m. you're done. But if 4 p.m. will make you too miserable, the other thing you can do is make sure you are done eating anything by 8 p.m. except water. Okay? Don't eat anything past 8 p.m. If you have to put something in your mouth, let it be water or energizing drink, but make sure you are watching the calories, because guys, there is nowhere else weight comes from. It comes from food. I was in denial at some point, because normally I'm a lady that eats small portions, but still, even the small portions over a long period of time, if you're not paying attention to the amounts to the quantities and the frequency at which you're eating, it's going to add up. Weight doesn't come from anywhere else. So before I go on this, fasting is really important. Make sure you're giving yourself room. And the point that is actually connected to this, and everything and anything is connected, everything that I'm talking about, everything is connected. Use an app to help you. Right now we are in the era of technology where we can use apps on our phones, on our watches. Not only do those help us to track our activity in the day, like the number of steps, you can also track the calories you are eating. For example, if you forget, you will not have an idea of how much you've eaten during lunch, you can use an app. An app that I used is called Yazio, Yazio. Yazio. I use that. Most of my friends use my Fitness Pal, but I found that to be a bit less intuitive than Yazio, so I went for Yazio. Trust me, if you Google fitness tracking apps, you'll find a couple of them. So make use. I have an iPhone, maybe there, but I want to believe all apps are compatible with whatever phone you have. So if you want something to help you, apps are a good partner to help you in this. They also helped me to track my fasting, by the way, because I logged in as 16.8, so 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of eating. Let's say like a 16-hour window of fasting and 8-hour window of eating, but I ended up actually eating in a lesser window than the 8 hours. But again, that will help you because the app will actually send you a notification that your fasting period has begun. So mentally, you always want to be prepared for that, because when it's fasting period, you have to run with that. And discipline is an important thing. But before I run into that point, I wanted to bring point number 4. Give your body time. And everything I said, everything here is tied. It's giving your body time to reset, to digest, to break down toxins and to break down the fats, and to clean itself. It's connected to fasting, right? Just give yourself that time. What I'm doing right now, because I have already achieved the weight, if I do not want to fast anymore, though I think fasting now has become a part of my life, I can just continue with my normal life now, but ensuring that I do not fall out of track with what I have already achieved. But yeah, giving your body time to ensure that it's cleaning itself. That only happens when you're not putting food in your mouth. What I am incorporating right now is actually a 24-hour fast. And how I do that, I find it to be really difficult if I eat up until 8 p.m. So I go back to the 4 p.m. I eat at 4 p.m. so that mentally I will know the following day by 4 p.m. I am gonna have my fast meal. I find that to be a bit easy than to do 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. I find that to be really difficult. And I do that on weekends only. So if I don't do it on Saturday, I will do it on Sunday. That's because I give myself room to rest, so I just while away some time. It's actually I take some time to rest. At the same time I'm resting and I'm doing self-care. For example, I will wake up on Saturday at around 8 a.m. Normally I wake up by 5:36 to read books and do other things like clean my room, clean my space and what have you, to prepare for work if I'm working from home or going to the office, things like that. But over the weekend, I make sure I am waking up later than that to give myself time to rest. So wake up at 8 a.m. and I started, let's say, fasting at 4 p.m. the day before. So I'll wake up at 8 a.m. Now I have like a few hours to 4 p.m. to do the 24 hours. And then maybe I'll be on social media wasting time a little bit. But now, because I'm doing content, my Saturdays are actually a lot busier than before. So I waste some time. So when I'm doing content, like I am doing content right now, I haven't eaten. Maybe you've heard my stomach rumble. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but my stomach has been rumbling. I'm used to that at this point. Yeah. So if I'm not doing any content, I just lie in bed. I love watching Nigerian movies. People think Nigerian movies are not fantastic. I love it. Oh, people say, oh, these movies are predictable. I want something predictable. If I could predict my life, I would do it. I want something easy. I want an easy life. I do not want to struggle figuring out, like watching fiction that I can't figure out. I don't want that difficulty. So Nigerian movies are for me. So I'll put a movie for 2 hours, watch 2 hours. So I'll be left with like, let's say 6 hours to go. And then 6 hours, maybe while away again, maybe talk to my roommate or have a phone call with my brother, my sister, my dad, something like that, or just chat with a friend. And then after that, I will get up, fill my bathtub with water, shower, just take a warm bath. Before I know it, by the way, the hours are done. 4 p.m. is already here. And sometimes I even end up eating past 4 p.m., let's say at 4:30 or 5 p.m. Sometimes even at 6. I found myself fasting for more than 24 hours. That helps me a lot to cleanse my body, and it is really helpful, guys. It's really helpful. You feel good. Your skin glows like it is doing for me right now. I'm not struggling. I don't have even so many products that I use for myself. What I do is moisturize, but that cleansing is so helpful. So the second last point will be running a stress check for your life. Ensure that, actually third last, yeah, ensure that you are checking what is happening in your life, because personally I thought losing weight was really difficult when I was going through so many other things, like checking my relationships, checking my family relationships. When the first is romantic relationships, those things were stressing me out so much. That's because, again, I wasn't loving myself. I was having issues with my family. For some reason, everything was just going haywire. Okay, but when I ran a stress check and I let go of so many things that I do not want to be a part of, I found that I had time to actually focus inwards. Okay, so ensure that nothing is stressing you too much. I mean, a bit of stress is good. You need to stress a bit you use that stress to focus on your ambitious goals. Like, let's say you want to buy a house, you want to, I don't know, buy a car, like big things. You want to achieve some millions, you want to maybe become an entrepreneur. There is going to be a bit of stress. For me, there was stress that I allowed when I was doing my stress check. Some stress that I allowed was school stress. I had to have that because I needed to study to get my degree and get a job. So that was good stress. Any unnecessary stupid stress, let it go. Let that go. Okay, the other one is discipline, and this one is physical. Make sure you're disciplined. There are times when you start this fasting thing and portioning, the times when, because there's an amount that you were used to eating, right? And then now you've reduced it and you are even staying longer without eating. There are times when your mind will be hungry and you are not physically hungry. Okay, the trick there is to drink water. What you can also do, by the way, is buy nuts. I use cashew nuts. Cashew nuts are just so yummy, so tasty. Buy cashew nuts so that you just eat a little, not a handful. A handful is a whole 250 calories. So a handful is a joke. If you have measuring tins, you can tins. Yeah, you can use the quarter cup. Okay, that will be, I think that will be less than 100 calories. Eat that and take water. The other thing that helps with portioning, by the way, buy like tiny glasses. I know in Juba, I'm from South Sudan, I know in Juba people take tea and coffee in small cups, like the Arabian cups. Buy those. I actually bought those to be taking my tea because I love sweet things. I love taking hot chocolate and what have you. I couldn't stop, but then I had to portion them, so I got those. So make sure you, apart from the measuring cylinder cups that you use for cashew nuts and what have you, measure everything, by the way. So make sure you're reducing your portions using physical things, because if you're saying you're just gonna, I'm gonna portion a little and put you, no, you wouldn't do it. You will end up eating more than you need to. Okay, so the other one is so controversial. I have tried talking to my friends about this, how I do it, and my friends don't agree, is weighing yourself every day. Personally, I love to weigh myself every day. It's like brushing my teeth. I need to know where I am at. Sometimes it's really discouraging, especially at the beginning. Sometimes you're doing everything that you're doing and weight is still going up. It's fine. For me, it's okay. It's completely okay, to be honest. I want to know that I am either reducing or increasing so that I can tweak my strategies, right? Maybe I need to decrease a bit more or exercise a bit more or do something, I want to be in the know. 1 week, people say 1 week or weigh yourself after 3 months. Oh my gosh, 1 week is enough to do disaster to myself. So I cannot do that. I have to do it every day. I would encourage people to actually do it every day. But if you cannot do it every day, every person for themselves, like what works for you, do that. Okay, whatever that works for you, do that, but make sure you're in the know. It's better to know. I think this is where the saying of the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. You better know your weight. That's my take. You better know so that you know what to do. And even if it's discouraging, yes, feel bad, but then take action. Feel bad and take action. That's what I would say, rather than avoiding it and you hope after 3 months, okay, your weight is good.